Kia ora, Cancer. This is your reading for this new moon in your sign, which is happening as we speak. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And thanks for joining me, liking, commenting, subscribing, all of that kind of thing. I actually did half of the readings yesterday, and there was a very odd thing that occurred. Where there was literally no sound, and thank you for the comments of late about the sound quality. There was no sound, and a lot of the recordings actually didn't record. Very odd, or they didn't come up in my file. Anyway, so we're doing them again today. Let's see if there's a similarity, Cancer. So this is your reading. Let us see what's on the storyboard, and I do think that possibly there is quite a similarity. Now, we'll get a couple more cards out for you. We do go through and clarify. If you haven't joined me before, thank you. And if you're coming back, thank you too. We go through and clarify always. One more card for Cancer, please. Yep. Okay. So we're looking at what are we looking at? We're looking at a rejigging of sorts here, but let's just go through and talk about each card, and we will, as I said, clarify with a couple of other decks, Cancer. Coming out here with the Three of Discs, a wonderful card in the Thoth deck. It's called Works because it is works. It's working with others. It's working in unison to build something new. It's collaboration. And this pyramidal shape on wheels is not only incredibly strong, but it has the capacity to create offshoots as it is created itself, as it is in creation itself. Three of Discs, very powerful card. We then have a wonderful card. Don't get it wrong. This is the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is that epiphany moment. So we've gone through that whole suit of the swords of the mind. We know what the mind can do and how it can be a bit naughty sometimes. We slay ourselves with that mind, primarily. First off the bat, So in traditional decks often, or some decks, you see the hand gesture, which exists within the Hierophant as well. The hand gesture is a sign to say, aha, I see it. Now I see it. We start a new beginning. We start a new cycle. Now this is good for you, Cancer, because the central point in this storyboard or storyline today is the Four of Wands. We're talking about home, about knowing where we belong, where we stand, where we're at our most comfortable, and where we are truly valued, in fact. Whether that's you recognizing your own value or that it is coming from your environment. This is a wheel again, and you're turning that wheel. It's moving, it's in motion, largely to do with a shedding, that which we see, a shedding, maybe that's not the right word, a kind of digestion, as it were, of the Ten of Swords, because on the other side of this beautiful double 11, happy home, place of homecoming, a completion exists within the Four of Wands. Now we achieve or we complete certain things many, many, many times throughout a lifetime. In the Thoth deck, the Four is called completion. But as I said, we've shed or allowed something to pass through us in order to understand it. We have the Eight of Swords, another sword. Self-limitation in a nutshell. our own choice. It is a choice. Self-limitation. The meaning of this card, I'm not saying self-limitation is a choice per se. That is the meaning in this card, that there is a sort of bound or binding, but we aren't bound by anything. It's just our mind playing tricks on us. So you understand what I mean, a shedding, allowing this 10 and the 8 to pass through. It's a natural occurrence. It's a natural cycle. At the end of it, we see death. We see a huge transformation, Cancer. This transformation, wheels in motion, works. A part of this transformation, as what was coming through in the reading yesterday, that was this idea that you have agency and ability and control over those areas within your shell, or within that area between you and the outside world. You control what is coming in, which can allow you to be a lot freer with yourself, a lot freer in your own expression. So let's go through, we'll clarify Cancer, which is the new moon in Cancer and the shifting of those nodes, Aries, Libra, from what has been Taurus and Scorpio. So those nodal shift is occurring. So we look at Aries and Libra, relationship with other and relationship with ourselves. Can we clarify the 3 of discs, please? Thank you. Many options at the moment, opportunity and options. It's confident. 7 of Cups. Confidence is coming through. And we've had time. 4 of Swords. Place, i.e. home, Cancer, a place where we can have respite and retreat, and in that place we are open to receiving a lot of, if you want to call it, downloads, understandings, new ideas. This is all surrounding that 3 of discs. It's all part of that 3 of discs and the 7 of Cups. Let's look at the 10 of Swords for Cancer here. So you're in a really good position. It is sort of overcoming, overcoming. This is speaking now. It is overcoming. Look, we've got the 7, another 7. It's a time of assessment, but it's a time also of great growth and movement, Cancer, at the moment for some of you. 7 of discs, a review, whether that's in the energetic sense, whether it's looking at what you've put your energy into, what you've got from that, what you wanted to get, what you needed, and maybe those things that you didn't get. Okay, well, moving forward, we'll do things in a slightly different way. We'll ditch that 10 of Swords. It's an epiphany moment to understand that the nature of that 7, because we're in the process of that, we're moving forward in a different way, and that's what you seem to be doing, Cancer. So we've got the 10 of Swords again. Yep. So when I say it's speaking, there's the cards are speaking now. So we're in a dialogue. 4 of Wands, please, for Cancer. that's exactly right. We get the Queen of Cups. Now, this Queen is quite similar to your reading yesterday. Queen of Cups, the never-ending full cup. This Queen is sort of like a filtration system here, quite comfortable in the flow, in the ebbs, in the tide, the tidal rhythm. We fill our own cup first, don't we? We need to be of service to ourselves before we can ever be of service to anyone else. And this is the key here. You've got a really good base to work from. If we look at it in a purely practical level, you've got a really good base. As I said before, a softening in particular areas of your shell. You're the kind of gatekeeper of your own, of what's coming in and what's going out. And that's called agency, and it's a wonderful thing. Cancer. Okay. 8 of Swords. We know the 8 of Swords is about self-limitation. Cancer. We've got too many here. We've got too many, but I'll read them out. So to clarify the 8 of Swords, you know, the bound figure, but they're not bound. They think they are, but they're not. Now, these came out in this way. Yes, they did. Wheel of Fortune. New cycle. Because you've understood. We've got 2 10 of Swords here. You've understood the machinations of your own mind. What stopped you from doing things? What are the fears that have stopped you? It's like taking the bull by the horns, as it were. Being captain of your own ship, Cancer. It's turning this wheel. It's turning it. There's a new sense of your own will, and a new sense of using that very wisely. It's not overcome by the emotional self. It kind of is working in unison here. So then we had, anyway, I'll do this quickly, 2 of Discs. There was a period of possibly of just having to allow this 8 of Swords to pass through, to understand it fully. You have understood how it's played out in your life when you've done your review in the 7 of Discs. Here we have the 2, keeping a balance. We're keeping a balance. There's a decision in all the 2s that will be made, but it's not crucial at this point. The figure 8, the infinity sign, keeping a balance where there's a lot of movement going on around us. We hold attention in this card, whether it's in regards to a process going on with ourselves, which I think in this case, in the storyline today, Cancer, it has been. Holding that tension for a period. Then we've got like a purification of fire here with the Knight of Wands. Fire of fire, the ability to be fluid within that element is what I often get from that Knight. Now let's look at the Death card, the beautiful Death card, Transformation, Cancer. Your transformation, you worked hard at this, but it is not something that we have as an end goal, is it? It's just something that happens in our lives at different times. Just a card to just looking at transformation, the Death card. There may well have been, there always is, isn't there, with any human? There may well have been, because these 2 just came out to the side. Look, we've got personal truth here that's been fully understood, and we are happy to take the mantle of this Queen of Swords. As I said before, things are not overridden by the emotions, but they aren't either by the monkey mind. You've kind of reached an understanding in how you balance those things within your life. The Queen of Swords, straight down the line. 2 cards coming out the side, which to me is like a little piece of your history, and we've all experienced these things. The 3 of Swords, pain and sorrow, deception, people taking credit for your own work possibly, or that you have, recognised how you may go about getting things in a manipulative kind of way, that you've shifted that. I'm not suggesting that all cancers out there are manipulative, but we all have aspects of this. It is a sort of archetypal figure here in the 5 of Swords. So it's amazing that we take this, we take this Queen, we take on the mantle of, this is part of our transformation, Cancer. Let's get a Brian Froud, Pixie and Fairy, just as one little glimmer. It can be summed up, can it? Pixies and fairies in one little glimmer. Let's see. Let us see. Oh, they're going all over the place. All over the place. Yeah, and a requirement for a level, for an understanding and a level of transformation is summed up with Epona's Wild Daughter, going down into the backlogs of your own history, emotionally, this lifetime, if you believe in other previous lifetimes, that also going down into the dark chapters, into shadow work, basically, with Epona's Wild Daughter. It's a beautiful card. We face our fears, Cancer, in this card. Beautiful. On that note, thanks for joining me today on this new moon in your sign. Take good care. Check out any other titles that might stand out for you, Cancer, and enjoy this beautiful new moon in Cancer. Ka kite. Bye.